Hello, and welcome to another edition of our Facebook Live Chat. This is just another way that we try to keep you informed of all the things that are happening across Brave Nation. We've got a really exciting show for you tonight with lots of wonderful guests here. Tonight's topics and guests include our CHS Soul Tribe Step Team, a survey about the 2024-25 calendar, the Battle Bolts, a look at the rest of the events that are scheduled for this semester, and then we'll also have Edge Middle School Circle of Champions. As always, we'll close out the show and the broadcast by answering some questions from you live in our chat. So if you have questions during the show, put your questions. Tribe Step Team. We're very excited to have you guys here tonight. We'll start with Miss Carlita Chandler, who is a sponsor of our step team, and we want to talk to you a little bit first before you introduce us to the girls that you've brought here tonight. So tell us just a little bit about you, Miss Chandler. Like, what is your bio? What do you do for the district? What's your position? And why are you at Community ISD?
Okay, I'll start by saying I am an inclusion teacher at the high school, and I'm at the district because I moved here for the educational purposes back 6 years ago, because of the classroom sizes for my grandkids. And from being a grandparent to working as a substitute teacher, from a substitute teacher to a para, and then sponsoring the STEP team because of charity.
And from a para to a certified classroom teacher. So
Yes, ma'am.
we're very proud of you for that accomplishment and for being in the classroom and helping in our special education department. You're a wonderful asset to the district, and we're so glad to have you as part of that. And you also ventured out into this new STEP team. And so I know there's a lot of people out there that's new to Community ISD. So everybody's wondering, what is a STEP team?
Okay, a STEP team. I had to do a lot of research and studying on STEP team when I took over because Miss Charity wanted to do something within the district, and I seen the passion that she had. And I started studying why and how the STEP team occurred. It actually went all the way back to like the 1800s when slaves was captured, and they couldn't talk, and they end up having sores on their feet for working in the fields and stuff, and they had to go purchase boots in the British times. And when they bought those boots had beads that would signal to each other that they were hungry, that different things was occurring in it. And after studying it, it got interesting because you see that the beats from that went to beats of fun, having dance moves and the vibration of the tune of singing, and just the different body languages. And from there it went to Greek. From Greek it went to stepping. They do it in a lot of the African American churches. You have like step team dancers that express. It's an expression for the young African American people back in that day, but now it have expanded not just to African Americans but to all races, and it's nationwide.
Awesome. Awesome. And we're so glad that we have that now in community, and it's another place that our students can participate and be a part of a team and be a part of something that represents the district. So how long has Community ISD had a STEP team?
This is the third year. It started with one young lady. She pounded them for like 3 years to start the STEP team, and finally Mr. Ryan, he came along and he said yes. Good. And from there it was Miss Carly's freshman year. From the freshman year, and it's her junior year now, her and Charity, they're one of the original founders of the STEP team.
Awesome. Well, I'm very excited about it. I've seen them perform several times. Very talented, very impressive routines that they do. So why don't you introduce us to the two people that we have here tonight, and then we'll let them tell us a little bit more about the STEP team.
Okay, we have Miss Charity Speed. She is a junior. And then we have, I'm being a little biased right now. We have my granddaughter, Miss Carly Johnson. She's been on the STEP team for 3 years as well.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk to you guys just a few minutes and find out things about the STEP team and from a student's perspective, from someone who's part of that team. Tell me a little bit about that. Tell me, why did you join the STEP team? Why are you a part of the STEP team?
You wanna go first? Yeah. Okay. Well, the reason why I joined it is because I felt that I can express myself throughout my STEP, and I felt that this will be new to me, and I found out that I actually have like a really strong passion for it.
Awesome. Miss Carly, what about you?
I joined the STEP team because I thought it would be fun and to be with my friends, and it is fun.
Good. So you enjoy it. You probably made a bond with those girls on the STEP
Most
team.
definitely.
Like a family. I know I've seen you guys when you've been practicing or getting in your circles and talking before you perform, and it just, there's a bond there that you can see that you guys have with each other, so that's really cool. So for those people who've not seen you do any of your performances, they're missing out because you guys do an amazing job. But there's a lot of choreography that goes with that, right? So is that done? Do you guys make those up? Oh, there's video on the screen now of you guys doing it. So is there, do you make those moves up? Are there standard moves that are in the routines, or do you have somebody come in and make those up? Where do those routines come from?
I would say we basically, some people come up with them, put the ideas in them, like from watching different other steps and just bringing like a whole choreograph
Okay,
from
so
different.
watching other schools or other teams and then pulling things from different routines and putting them together that represent you and your team, right? Awesome. So what do you think so far has been your favorite move or your favorite step or that you've had in your routine?
It'll probably be the stroll that we did at the carnival.
Okay.
Yeah, the last stroll that we did at the carnival.
Last stroll at the carnival. Okay. Miss Carla, what about you? What's your favorite?
I would say my favorite is the first step we ever learned, like from the beginning of step. I like that.
The first one. So, is there something tonight that you girls could stand up and show us some very simple step that we could learn?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see it. What is it?
Which one do you want to do?
I did not prep them for this, so they're not prepared. So
Just
let's
move the chair.
what's one step that you can show us that everybody could know?
I mean that easy.
Okay, here we go.
I'm slap by you.
Come on over.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Awesome, very good. I'm very impressed. I would get confused and fall over myself, I'm sure, if I tried to do that. So that's really fun, and I know that there are lots of people out there. Ms. Chandler, you said anybody can be a part of the STEP team. It doesn't have to be African American girls. We're open to anybody that wants to be a part of this team, that wants to represent the district and to be a part of this group of young ladies. So tell us how, if a student is interested in this, how do they get involved?
Well, I would tell them to show up.
Show up
Once you
where?
show up at the high school, and I'm gonna put the middle school on blast because it's some young girls that I get emails at 5 o'clock in the morning from one particular young girl, and I just told her that yesterday, just show up. I just want you to just show up, and you show up, you meet the girls, and you get a sisterhood. We're a family. We're actually a family, and I love it because it's something that they want to do. So you show up at the high school, or you reach out to me on my work email, carlitachandler@communityisd, and say, hey, I'm interested in doing this, and I will give a nugget. When I tell you doors open for new opportunities, the doors open with people that are ready to sponsor us and take us to the next level. So this is the season to get on board with Soul Tribe STEP team.
Awesome. We want to encourage, we're looking at starting that in the middle school as well, and so there's opportunities for people to get involved and be a part of this. In the future, we're looking at competitions and going and competing with other schools across the state and really taking this, like you said, to the next level. So we're very excited about that. Thank you for performing that for us tonight. I'm sorry that I put you on the spot. I just thought that would be good, give everybody a little taste of what you guys do. So thank you for being here tonight. There may be some questions at the end of the show. So if you'll stick around, you'll come back in at the end, and we'll let anybody ask questions that might want to ask questions. But I want to say to you girls, thank you, and I'm so proud of you for being in the classroom and helping our special ed kids, but I'm also proud that you're stepping out there and stepping out there, no pun included, stepping out there and helping to sponsor this group so that our girls have the opportunity to do this. So thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we're going to transition just a little bit and talk about our calendar survey. So we are already, even though we've not finished the semester for this school year, we are already talking about the 2024-25 calendar needs, and we're going to take a recommendation to our school board in January. So we need to kind of move forward with what we're doing with this calendar. We have several committees that get together and look at the calendar. If you guys remember, we adopted last year a 2-year pilot program for a 4-day school week. And so this next year will be our second year. We will be doing 4 days again. We will have those Fridays off. And so once you do that, and then you take the number of minutes that are required by the state for our students to attend school, it gets very limited on what you can do with a calendar. And so we've come up with 4 different options of things that you could do with a calendar to get all of our minutes in and to be able to get everything done during the year that we can do. And so we're going to put out a survey with those 4 options listed on there or posted on there. I believe they're going to be posted in the chat, and there's going to be a QR code on the screen that you can actually take the survey at this time. This survey is going to close on December the 28th. That's 1 month for you to put your input into the survey and give us your opinion on which calendar you like the best. Then we're going to take the top 2 calendars from those 4 calendars, and we'll send that back out in January to decide on what our recommendation is going to be to the school board in January for our calendar for the 24-25 school year. So please make sure you complete the survey and tell everybody you know that we want their input. We want our community to let their voices be heard on what calendar makes the most sense for Community ISD next year. So we are going to transition now to our next guest. We're so excited that we have Miss Kennedy here with us tonight with a couple of her students, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about a new program that we're participating in. But before we get into that, Miss Kennedy, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what your position is in the district, and why are you at Community ISD?
Okay, I'm the GT specialist at both Neesmith and Dodson.
Okay.
I've been teaching 36 years, and
Awesome.
the last 18 have been here at Community. And the reason I like Community, to me, it's where a hometown feel meets innovation.
Awesome. Awesome. We love that. That's a good slogan. We need to remember that. That's great. So tell us a little bit, and I keep wanting to say battle bots, but it's battle bolts. Battle bolts. Explain to us what that is.
Okay, so I guess first I need to say what a bolt is.
Okay.
So a bolt is our coding robot the young kids use. It's called the Spiro bolt.
Okay.
And so it's their coding robot they use to learn to code through fun games and STEAM activities.
Okay. And so explain to us what coding is, because there's some people out there that may be curious about what coding is.
Okay, there's different types, but with the students, they just like use blocks. Now my youngest students, they just drive their robot to get used to making it go, but they can use blocks. We do different things, like we have all kinds of games we use with our bolt, like bowl. Instead of rolling the bolt, they have to code it. They use blocks to make it go which direction for how
They're
far.
actually writing the language to tell this robot what to do.
Yes.
To tell this mechanism what to do, where to move, how to move, and all those kind
The
of things.
speed and how long it rolls and
Wow.
for how long. That's one of the things that they can also make it speak. Charlie has a robot here. This is Charlie. She has one of our Spiros.
Wow.
So, and so
And how young are our students that are participating with us?
first grade through fifth grade.
First grade through fifth grade are writing programs to tell a robot what to do and how to do it.
Okay, and so they can make things flat. We're doing Matrix where it can do animation across the screen. We're starting some things like that this week for the young ones
That's
as well.
amazing. Well, thank you for bringing all that and for helping our students to learn about that. How long have we been doing this battle?
Okay, so the battle boat itself is, we just started it this year.
Okay.
And so, for instance, it's one of the activities. So like we have the different activities to teach them to code. And so the battle boats is just one of the activities we come up with so that they can engineer, design a shell. As you can see, we can't stick things on the robot or it won't roll.
Right.
So they design a shell for it. And then the shell, the purpose of it is to engineer something to be the last bot in the ring. And we just had a GT family night for the young students, and it was a lot of fun to watch the young students and their families design their shell, and if they happen to tip over, and it was fun to watch the families together engineer it in a hurry to get it going back into the game.
So we have little engineers running around all over CISD. That's amazing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who is here with us tonight?
Okay, so this is Charlie Kristoff,
Hi, Charlie.
and then we have Camden Ing.
Hi, Camden. How are you? So glad to have you. So what school are you at, Camden?
Neesmith.
Neesmith. And Charlie, where are you?
Dodson.
Dodson. All right, so two of our elementaries. So, Miss Kennedy, is this only at those two elementaries?
Yes, those are the two elementaries where I am, and this was funded with a Community Education Foundation grant. So
Great.
that's
Great. So that's another plug for our foundation and how they are giving back to the district continually so that we can do these innovative and fun things for our students. So that's awesome. And thank you for writing that grant and for asking for that. So that's amazing. So let's talk a little bit to Camden and Charlie and find out, y'all, tell everybody what grade you're in and how long you've been in Community ISD.
So I'm in 5th grade and I've been in Community ISD for 7 years.
Wow. Camden?
I'm in 4th grade and I've been in community for 5 years.
Awesome. That's great. So what do you like about community?
I like about community how it's like people don't judge, like the teachers and staff, like they don't judge you for who you are. And they don't, it's just, and they have like a bunch of like they have teachers and good staff and people who actually care.
So your teachers care about you and you feel like people really love you and want you to be your best, no matter who you are. That's awesome. Good. Camden, what about you? What do you like about community?
All the teaching, how they teach us.
You like the teachers? They do a good job?
Yes.
Make you feel special? Teach you a lot?
Yes.
That's good. That's good for me to hear. I like hearing those things. So why don't both of you tell me a little bit about why you decided to be a part of Battle Bolts?
I decided to be like part of the Battle Bolts because it's very fun and I'm also very competitive. So
Really?
I was like very competitive and I told all my friends that like their shell's gonna definitely fall over.
Okay.
But I most of the time lose, which is very sad. But I just joined it to have fun. But I also like doing the angles and engineering my shell.
Do you think that you've learned in this
Yes,
program? You've
I've learned a lot.
That's
from this.
amazing. All right. What about you, Camden? Why did you become part of Battle Bolts?
The thing that I did about it, joining BattleBots, was because it was one part of GT.
It was part of GT, and you're part of the GT program, and so you're exploring that. Do you think you've learned things?
Yes, a lot.
You learned a lot? I'm so amazed that the two of you know how to make. We just had some stuff on the screen there for people to see, and the whole idea that you guys know how to make those things move and go, and That is really amazing and exciting. So you're competitive, so you want to be the last one in the ring, right?
Yes, you want to be the last one standing, like with their cup facing the right way.
Okay. And so, like, if your cup gets knocked over, you're out?
Yes.
Okay, so you just slowly eliminate people until there's one person standing. And who was the one person standing in the last?
So, like, in my class, her name is Hannah.
Okay, Hannah won, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So how often do y'all compete?
Every time that we do it, we just kind of, we smack talk a little, we lose, we win, and then pretty much.
and then you just get out there and battle, right? Awesome. What's been your favorite part of being, Camden, tell me what's your favorite part of being in battle?
My favorite part was about how we competed for like who would win.
So you're a little competitive too, then. So you wanted to get out there and beat the other people, beat the other kids that were trying to do it? And did you do well?
I lost every round.
Oh, no. Okay, but we've learned things, and next time it's going to be better, right? Next time is your time. It's going to be a good time. So do y'all compete against just kids in your grade level?
Yes.
Okay, so every grade level has a competition, and
Yes.
you can compete on that. That's great. What is your favorite memory so far? What's been the best thing about being in?
So, like, one time, so when we were designing our show, me and my friend Gabby worked together, and the look on Gabby's face, so we had a balloon on ours that would, like, hopefully bounce up the opponents off.
Oh, strategy.
The look on my friend Gabby's face when she saw that Hannah was defending her so that it would pop our balloon was so funny. I don't know.
It was funny. You didn't plan on somebody having strategy to get rid of your balloon, huh?
I completely was just thinking about defense, not offense.
Okay. Awesome. Camden, what's been your favorite part?
It's when we lost our twister spinner, so we programmed our Spiro to change colors when we caught it, and we could keep playing twister.
Wow. I am just so impressed with what you know and the engineering part of this, where you know how to make that sphere go where you want it to go. That is amazing. Ms. Kennedy, I know that we have lots of interest out there now. People are going to be asking about this. So if students want to get involved with this, how do they get involved with this?
Well, right now it's part of the GT curriculum.
Okay.
But we could look to
Look at
expand
other-
it, but
yeah.
if we have enough interest.
So if there's interest, they should definitely let the campuses know that there's interest and this is something they want kids to be able to experience.
And I know at Dotson we're having a STEM night coming up soon, and they wanted us to show off our Spiros. So we're going to do a little demonstration with them
That's
on
amazing.
Dotson STEM night.
That's wonderful. So what would you say? This is the first year. You're in charge of this. I'm sure it's been a lot of work on you getting it all going and teaching these kids. It sounds like they're really just going off with it, though, and doing a great job. What has been the greatest thing that you've seen, the greatest reward that you've seen in implementing this program?
Just the families, and when they left our GT family night with the younger students, they were just, just all, the kids were excited during it, and the parents, some of them were emotional, and I thought, it was just because they were so happy that their child had so much fun that night.
And that's our goal, is to make sure kids are learning and they're having fun when they're learning. And so a program like this, where it really pushes them into some complex learning, but they're having a great time doing it. That's exciting. So thank you so much for what you're doing for our kids. Thank you for writing this grant and getting this program going and then leading our students. I appreciate that so much. Charlie and Camden, thank y'all for coming and explaining this to us. I can't wait to come and watch you actually do some of this. And next round is your round, right, Camden? It's your round for sure. Everybody else is going down, right? Okay. All right, we're going to transition a little bit. If you'll stick around, Ms. Kennedy, we might have some questions for you at the end. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. I appreciate you and everything you're doing for the district. We're going to transition just a little bit and talk about some of the things that are happening as we end this semester. We still have a really busy month ahead of us as we're getting ready for our Christmas holidays. So I want to go over some of the things that we're having in the district. first, tomorrow night, we have our Community for Community committee meeting. This is a chance for parents, community members, students, and staff to come together and just give their input and have a voice in decisions that we're making in the district. So we want everyone to feel welcome to come and be a part of that. Make sure that you register for that meeting if you're coming, and we would love to have you here and have some discussions with parents and staff members and our students. Also, I want to tell you a little bit about the Edge Middle School Winter Wonderland Dance. That is on December the 1st. We know that's going to be a lot of fun. Middle school dances are great experiences, great celebrations, and so we want to make sure everyone's aware of that. Our CHS and our Edge cheerleaders will be going to Crandall for an invitational cheerleading competition on December the 2nd. Our CHS band is going for all region auditions on December the 4th. We have CTE career rodeos. Please check our calendar and our schedules online so you can find some of our basketball games, both the middle school and the high school. Come check out some of our Braves as they take on other opponents on the court. On December the 8th, we have our all bands Christmas concert. If you've missed this in the past, this is a wonderful night where we get you in the spirit for Christmas. Wonderful music. We have some talented students who will be playing and performing for you that night. On December the 15th, our Dazzling Dames are offering gift wrapping. So for all of you that have waited to the last minute to wrap your gifts and need some help, on December the 15th, the Dazzling Dames will do that gift wrapping for you. So make sure you check that out and come and bring your presents for them to take care of. Our last day of the fall semester is on December the 21st, and then we'll be out for a couple of weeks. Our first day of our spring 2024 semester is January the 4th for our staff and January the 8th for all of our students. So on January the 8th, we'll get things kicked off and for a busy and exciting and productive spring semester, and we look forward to seeing everybody back at that point. So our last guest tonight, we have our Edge Middle School Principal, Mr. Goff. Mr. Goff, thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk to you tonight about your Circle of Champions. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about you first? What's your bio? Where have you been? I've said you're the principal. How long have you been in community? And then why are you at community?
A lot of questions.
Yes.
First one. So most importantly, I'm a husband to my amazing wife, Caitlin, and I'm a father of 4 kids, Tegan, Taylor, Lincoln, and Hadley. This is my 6th year in administration, 2nd year as a principal, and then I spent about 9 years as a teacher and a coach, where I was a science teacher and I coached football, basketball, and track. But more importantly, why community?
Yeah.
Dr. Knowlton, I got to be honest with you. Every time I think about community, it just has a special place for me. It's where I began my educational journey, and there's more times than not where I walk back into a building that I started my educational career in now as the principal, and I loved then the family atmosphere, and I feel it's the exact same even now, despite the growth. That I love our family style atmosphere here in Community ISD.
That's awesome. So a lot of people probably didn't know that your first teaching job, that first coaching job was right here in Community ISD.
Yes, ma'am, it sure was. I was a defensive line coach, and I taught biology and physics while I was here.
Great.
Under Brian O'Neill, the head football coach.
And
there.
then you left for a little while, and now you've come back home to be the principal at Edge, and we're so glad that you're here. And I'm glad you gave your wife a little plug. I know she's an amazing lady, and you're a busy man with 4 kids and being the principal at a middle school.
I am, and I was told they're watching right now, so
okay,
I just want to say
we're gonna
hi to you guys.
Hi to Mr. Goff's family. There you go. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what is the Circle of Champions?
Our Circle of Champions is a roadmap for our students of the expectations that we have at Edge Middle School. And when our students meet those expectations, we want to make sure to celebrate what they're doing. If you talk to some of our kids, they're going to always talk about Mr. Goff's big 3. Act right, do right, and be right. Or if we want our students to act appropriately, do the appropriate things, and be in the appropriate places. And if they're doing our big 3, we want to celebrate them through our Circle of Champions.
Good. That's awesome. Well, you brought some students here with us tonight. Why don't you introduce us to who you brought with us tonight, and we'll talk to them a little bit and get them to tell us about the Circle of Champions.
Sure will. I've got Keaton Helms and I've got Kathleen Henry with me here tonight.
Okay. So tell me about what grade you're in and how long you've been in community.
I'm in the 7th grade and I've been in community for 2 years.
Awesome.
I'm in the 8th grade and I've been in the community for 2 years.
For 2 years. So you've been at the middle school campus.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what is one positive thing you can tell me about the middle school campus? What do you like about it?
The staff is great.
The staff is great. That's awesome. That's so good to hear. That's the second time we've heard about our people, our teachers, our staff members in community, and then you talk about it. That's such a wonderful thing for me as a superintendent to hear. I'm so excited that we have the right people helping you and meeting your needs. So that's awesome. So glad to hear that. So why don't you tell me a little bit about what your version is or your perception is of what is the Circle of Champions? So each one of you tell me a little bit about the Circle of Champions.
I think the Circle of Champions is great because it gives me a chance to go outside during lunch or during the morning and get to play football or play basketball with my friends.
Okay. What about you?
I think the Circle of Champions is better because you get to go outside, get Kona ice, and hang out with your friends.
Okay. So we're going to have to backtrack here a minute. So we talked about going outside and getting Kona ice. So how do you get to do those things?
You have to.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want to go?
One of you and then the other one can talk.
You have to act right.
You have to act right. Okay.
You have to do right.
You have to do right. And then the last thing is
Be right.
you have to be right. Okay. So if you do all three of those things, do you magically just get to go outside?
They're
What
both
happens?
wearing them. What are you wearing right now?
Circle.
What is that called?
Circle of Champions cards.
Our
Okay,
Champions card,
show the
yes.
camera what that looks like. So that's your Circle of Champion card. So you get that at some point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And so that's because you're doing the big three,
Yes, ma'am.
right? And then if you have that card on, then in the morning and at lunch you get to go outside
Yes, ma'am.
with your friends and get some outside fresh air, sunshine, maybe a little cold the last couple of days, but you get to go outside, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you also get to get Kona ice sometimes. What are some other things you get to do as the Circle of Champions?
You get to go to the dance and you get to enjoy Kona ice and you get to go to Mid-Year Madness.
Oh, wow. Lots of benefits. So is it pretty well known on the campus that you want the Circle of Champions card? Everybody wants this card, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you ever lose that card?
Sometimes some people do.
Some people lose it. What do they lose it for?
Not acting right.
Not doing the big three? Okay, so you can get that card taken away and then you lose the benefit of all of those incentives and fun things and rewards, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So tell me what you have done that has been noticed as doing right or being right or acting right.
Paying attention to my teachers and doing my work.
Awesome. So you got recognized for doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Way to go. Thank you for doing that. What about you? What have you been recognized for?
Doing my work, paying attention to the teacher, and not talking over the teacher.
Great. So it's not just acting right out in the halls and at lunch. It's in the classroom, too, that you can be recognized and the teachers can tell Mr. Goff how wonderful you are and what you're doing right in class.
Yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of both of you. Thank you for being part of the Circle of Champions. Thank you for doing the big three. That's very exciting. So, Mr. Goff, what do you think, you've implemented this program now, what do you think the benefits are to this program?
You know, I think there's a lot of different benefits that everybody has. I think one of the benefits from the student side, and they kind of talked about it a little bit, is there's a couple different activities they're able to participate in because they're a champion. And so one of the benefits that I see from a kid's perspective is I may not be able to see what you're doing each and every single day. But when you're a champion, you get celebrated every day by going outside, by going and being able to get Kona ice, going to our dance, our Winter Wonderland dance, you know, or being able to participate in Mid-Year Madness. One thing that we also a benefit of it is that it helps our teachers build relationships with our students, because we have what's called champions tickets. And so when a teacher sees one of those big three, whether it be acting in class correctly, or Kathleen and I were talking about, she got caught picking up trash, and she got herself a champions ticket.
Thank you
And
for
so
doing that.
it gives our teachers an ability to say, hey, Kathleen, I see you being awesome, right? And it can spark a conversation and build a relationship, along with giving our kids some of that positive reinforcement that I believe that they need. And in our school, from our teacher's perspective and from my perspective, despite a growth in our enrollment at the middle school, we've seen a decrease in student referrals. And I believe it's because our students are seeing the benefit to our big three. They're seeing themselves getting celebrated.
That's amazing and so exciting. I love to celebrate students and bringing two here that are great examples of the big three and what needs to be happening on the middle school campus. Middle school's tough. Middle school's a challenging place to be, and so I'm so proud of you guys for choosing to do the big three. That's awesome. So, Mr. Goff.
Yes, ma'am.
Who can be a champion?
Dr. Knowlton, anybody can be a champion, including you.
Oh, okay. How can I be a champion?
Well, you've got to live by our big three, Dr. Knowlton.
Okay.
Act right, do right, and be right.
Okay, that's going to be my goal. I'm shooting for a red card. Okay, so I'm going to try to do the big three so that I can get a red card and go outside and Kona Ice and Mid-Year Madness.
Mid-Year Madness, yes, ma'am.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm excited to be able to do that. So, if that's what I'm striving for, that's what I want to do. Why should other people strive to be a champion? Can y'all tell
Because
me?
it's the right thing to do, and it's a good way to be a role model.
I love it. What about you? Why do people need to be a champion?
Because,
Same thing.
yeah.
It's the right thing to do, and we want everybody to act right and do right and be right, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Thank you all so much for being here, Mr. Goff. Thank you for what you're doing over there. I know it's a tiring job, and I know that you're dedicated and committed to making Edge Middle School the very best that it can be, and so I appreciate that. I appreciate all your hard work, bringing programs like this in so that we can celebrate our students when they're doing the right thing. And guys, I really appreciate you guys being examples and role models for other students, and I'm going to strive to get a red card before the end of the year, okay? So if y'all see me doing right, being right, or acting right, y'all make sure you tell Mr. Goff so I can get a red card soon, okay? All right. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Stick around, Mr. Goff. We may have questions for you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So that is our last guest for tonight, and now we're going to move to our chat portion, our live chat portion, where we're going to take questions from our community, from the audience, to find out if there's anything that you want to know. And we will answer your questions. We'll bring back any guests that we need to bring back. If there's a question about something we've talked about tonight, or if there's a question about something else that you just want to ask, be sure and type your question in the chat, and we will answer that online. And we're going to see those questions in just a second. And if you're not comfortable putting your question in the chat, you can always email us your question at info@communityisd.org. Mr. Welch, are there any questions at this point?
There are actually several. It seems like they're not syncing over to your...
Okay, hang on. Maybe they are. I'm just not scrolling up.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. There are. I did not scroll up to see the questions. Here we go. Live chat. Marcy Henry, is the STEP team only for high school students?
No.
Okay.
We want to bring the elementary, middle school, and high school.
Okay, and so we're developing that high school one, really getting it going, really starting. We're starting to talk at the middle school about how to do that, and so we will eventually spread that down into the elementaries as well. So if they're interested, we'll send out things when we get that ready to go in the elementaries, but we're already having those discussions at the middle school, correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
we are.
awesome. So it is not just for high school students, but we'll send out information about those other campuses and how they can get involved with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We also have, okay, I'm going to butcher this name. She says, Miss Carlita is an amazing person, and thank you for taking care of our girls.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. She loves those girls, right?
Yes, I do. I love them.
She told me they all belong to her.
They all belong to them. They're my little people.
Okay. Shawnee Love says, great job, ladies. I'm so grateful for Miss Carlita and her leadership. Mary Crockett says, great job, ladies. Michaela Welch says, I love Miss Chandler and the step team. Clinton Williams, let's go camp. My son, I don't know this name as well. My son is in the GT program, and the Battle Bolt night was a lot of fun. He named his robot the Bulldozer. I wonder if he's one of those that beat everybody, the Bulldozer. Miss Oviedo said, Charlie, I'm so proud of you. Shout out to Charlie. Lindsay Hedge says, proud of you, Charlie and Camden. And where is the community for community meeting? That meeting will be in the boardroom tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Making sure I have the right time. Yes, at 6 o'clock in the boardroom tomorrow night, Lindsay Hedge. That should answer your question. Other questions that we have.
Typing it right. I'll just read it out to you.
Okay.
Miss Danae Moore said, great job, Mr. Goff, for creating such a great learning environment for our kids. Michaela Welch said, very thankful for Mr. Goff and Mrs. Kennedy. And Miss Hedge just said, thank you for the C4C information. And Danae Moore said, Miss Carlita Chandler, we are very blessed to have you. That is all the comments right now.
Okay.
We'll
Okay. They cannot hear you, Cooper.
Oh. Okay.
So, let me see if I can you send those over?
Absolutely.
He's going to send them over, bring them over here to me, and so I can say that. We did not realize that you could not hear. We could hear in the room. Okay, so we've done. Now, everybody's going to see how old I am because I'm going to put my glasses on to read it. Okay. Danae Moore said, great job, Mr. Goff, for creating such a great learning environment for our kids. Michaela Welch, very thankful for Mr. Goff and Miss Kennedy. Lindsay Hedge said, thank you. Danae Moore says, Miss Carlita Chandler, we are so blessed to have you. I believe that is all we have right now. If there are any other questions, please submit them in the chat at this time, and we'll be happy to answer those. Just as a reminder, while we're waiting to see if we have any more questions, don't forget to complete that calendar survey and to tell everybody you know about completing that. We really want to know what your input is. We really want your voice to be heard as our parents and our community, and so make sure that you submit that. That QR code is now back up on the screen. If you will use that QR code and go in there, we'll narrow the 4 calendars down to 2. And then in January, we'll send the top 2 back out to narrow it down to 1. And so by the end of January, we will propose and recommend a calendar to the school board to adopt for the 24-25 school year. Can't believe that we're already to that point. Community Christmas. When are the items due?
December 7th or 8th or 11th. We'll take them any of those 3 days.
December 7th, 8th, or the 11th. Any of those days you can drop those off at the admin building. So if you have gifts that you need to drop off 7th, 8th, or 11th, you can drop those off. Will the students complete it during school hours, or should parents have students complete it at home? I would say parents can go ahead and have students complete it at home. We won't be taking any specific time during the school day to complete that survey. So if the parents can do that, we would love for you to encourage your student to give their input by completing that along with you. Miss Kennedy, will there be plans to do the STEM programs at other campuses?
That would be up to the other GT teacher at those campuses.
Okay.
But yes, if she's interested.
It's on the table for discussion.
Yes,
so we're going to
it is.
look into that, and we've seen such a great positive response to what we're doing it this year, the first year, that it's definitely something we're going to look in spreading across the district. So that would be yes. Let's see. Sandy Dean says, I'm so thankful for Community ISD. Such great things are happening. My grandson, Keaton, is a rock star. So So proud that you are pleased with what's going on. We always like to hear that positive input and positive feedback. Any other questions or comments that we need to read tonight? Last call for any questions or comments. All right, I think that is it. I want to say thank you again to my guests who've been here tonight, who are doing extraordinary things for this district. You guys are the reason that we're able to meet the needs of all of our students, and I'm just so appreciative of everything that you do serving this district. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for being here tonight to share some of that with our community. And then I want to say thank you to our community. Thank you for joining us. We will not have a Facebook Live like this program in December, but I would say to all the kiddos out there, watch for a special video coming up in December. We've got something a little special planned that we're going to post on our Facebook page pretty soon. So be on the lookout for something a little special that's going to be out there in December. And then in January,